obviously proud of our team. I think a great response coming off of last week's game. Really sound in all three phases. Good team victory. Kind of the response that I was kind of expecting. So proud of our team and get a chance to catch our breath now and get on a bye week here and get some of our banged up guys healthy and turn our page to what lies ahead here. So that being said, I'll take your questions.
Jason, just John, just any update on his condition?
I think he's gonna be okay. I don't know the extent of what okay means at this moment until they get some tests and some things done. But obviously, just a very traumatic moment for our team, right? I mean, this is it's a very beloved teammate that takes a fall like that, and you never want to see an ambulance on a football field ever. So no matter who it is, you know what I mean. So we're praying for him. He'll for a speedy recovery and get back on his feet here and back with us as soon as we can.
You mentioned obviously all three phases. Defense continues to obviously impress. Line of scrimmage, just how dominant do you feel like they were tonight, or just obviously dominating that line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you really can limit the other team's rushing attack, I mean that sets the table for everything else. I mean, you held a Division I team to 66 yards rushing. I mean, that's impressive by your front seven for sure. And when you can control the line of scrimmage and keep the keep them behind the chains, that's really hard for any quarterback to operate. And we did a really good job on third down defense, I think, due to the success on early downs. That kind of set the table for the whole game.
Offensively, obviously, you guys kind of found a rhythm early. Just speak on obviously Junior, obviously just his career and just continuing to make plays. And I think you said Paul, 15th player in the program to reach 2,000 yards. Just how special is that?
Yeah, I mean, tremendous player, tremendous talent. Brings great competitive spirit and competitive energy every day to practice. When your best players practice the hardest, those are he's one of them. You got some other guys there that fall into that category that you got to pull them out and turn them down a little bit because, like I said, they want to continue to. They love football. They want to work and they want to continue to get better. And he's been an awesome player for us and been a really tremendous when he gets going early. I mean, I think Tuck did a good job finding him early and getting him involved and getting him going. And obviously the first play of the game. I mean, that's a great start.
Yeah, and obviously 3 games now, you guys have really taken care of business here at home. Just what about playing in the Glass Bowl? Kind of, do you guys feed off of?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have a homecomings is what it is. You've got a lot of eyes, a lot of former players back. I mean, there's all kinds of them all over the pregame part of it. They're on the sideline. They're up here in the offices during recruiting stuff. Like they're everywhere. I mean, they're all over the place. So obviously, this place means a lot to a lot of people. Former players obviously included in that. And you want to go out and have a good showing. Your routine's more consistent when you're here and when you're at home. You're not driving all over God's creation to figure out where you're going to be in your next stop and that kind of stuff. And less moving parts and moving distractions. But great to be home. Great to get a home win. And obviously we got to go on the road and we got to handle the road better than we've handled it the last two times for sure.
What do you think has been the biggest difference between you guys at home and on the road? Just beyond homecoming, you guys have been dominating at home, but has it been the same on the road? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think just answered that. I mean, I think that it's good to be in front of our people. It's got great, pageantry here at our stadium. It's your own locker room. You're comfortable. You're in your rhythm and you're in your groove. And we fortunately have got off to good starts. In all the 3 of those games that you're talking about.
Looking ahead, obviously you get a couple weeks now to rest up. What's going to be the focus, obviously, during this bye week for you?
Well, we got to get on this tape and figure out what we did right, what we did wrong, and just like every other week. And you try, like I said, say this every single week. Like we're trying to see consistent improvement from week to week, and a lot of guys involved tonight. A lot of guys involved in maybe elevated roles due to some injuries and some things like that. So we'll get a good set of evaluation on those guys and see where it's at, and try to progress. But how do you balance coaches going on the road recruiting to practice time to rest time to more of an art to that than maybe a science. You know what I mean? It's kind of a feel thing. So, but we got to get in these next 48 hours. We got to get some guys healthy here.
I know you say that the team expects to win every game, but was there a different mood this week considering how the Western Michigan game ended?
No, I think you hit it. We expect to win every game. Expect to practice very well. Expect to go out and have a good week and really get. Can you turn good practice habits into game habits? And I think that's really every challenge across the country at every locker room. And can you consistently do it?
And I know you mentioned that the run game usually is where you want to start, and then it opens up everything else. But that was kind of in reverse today. The pass game got going early. Was that a part of the game plan, or is that just how things?
Yeah, I mean, I think getting your quarterback in rhythm is always a critical element to the game. You know, thing moves and operates better when he's in rhythm. You got to do what the defense allows you to do. You know what I mean? You can't. I'd love to run it. You know, I'd love to be consistent in that. But if there's an extra defender near the line of scrimmage, then they have to cover our guys, and we got to do a good job of finding them and getting them the ball.
Bryson obviously almost took out the opening kick, but I'm just to have a weapon like that. I mean, how does that kind of change? Not change, but how does that affect field position, knowing that you have a guy that can stretch the field that way?
Well, I mean, it didn't kick it to the deep return, which was obviously a game plan thing by them, and then as you mentioned, he damn near returned it for a touchdown. So, big swing right off the jump, great field position to set us up. Down in I don't know where he got to. I think he got almost to the red area, right? I mean, it was like 30-yard line or something like that, 27-yard line, something like that. So, yeah, big lift right off the jump, and to be able to turn a momentum play like that into points. I mean, that's when we're playing at our best.
Just one more on John. Did you see anything on the field that gave you a positive indication?
Yeah, I mean, he was talking and he was responsive. But me speculating and getting into anything more deeper than that. I mean, I'm not a doctor, and I certainly don't even want to pretend to be one. So, again, all I can tell you is from our standpoint of it, he's a very loved teammate here and a guy that that's a and we like the first series out of there, I don't think we handled that part of it very well. I think we're still in shock a little bit, but after that, I'm proud of our team to kind of getting back in the groove there a little bit.
You plan to visit him in the hospital tonight?
I'll see where things are here, yeah. But if he's there, I'll be over there for sure.
Real quick, Caleb and Jake obviously getting some runs in there. How cool was it to see those guys?
Yeah, I mean, not often you get to, you're limited for a travel party and when you go to the hotel with and that kind of stuff. So you don't get to take your fourth quarterback very often. And, Jake was Scout Team Player of the Week this week. Got a chance to get in there and, I called a play that could be potentially that. And I was, kind of hoping he would pull the ball and run it because I knew it would get a spark out of our team. And ultimately, he just deserves that. There's so many guys that are kind of behind the scenes and, just consistently show up. They're the same guy every day. And sometimes those guys don't have a light at the end of the tunnel. There's not a carrot dangling there to go play great on Saturday. They're not going to get in the game. They know that from the minute they show up in the building on Sunday. And to have that opportunity to get him a moment like that, and other guys too. But, when you're the quarterback, only one guy plays. And, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 guys just sitting there and, when's it going to be my turn? And so for him to get in there and have a moment, that was a really cool thing. And certainly, he did great.
To what degree do you feel like you finally know the identity of your team?
Yeah, I think that's an ongoing thing. We're in the middle of a college football season where availability of players changes, at the drop of a hat. What you're relying on from really good players to be healthy and to be consistent. Some days, some weeks you have them, some weeks you don't. You got to build the scheme around your players, in all 3 phases, what they're capable of doing. And, so I think I know what we're capable of, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's always just going to come down to what you're willing to do each and every week when it comes to the grit and determination to go win a conference championship. That's what it takes in this league. I mean, you got to bring it every week.
Yeah, obviously another impressive performance for you guys. Since not momentum, but just every time you guys go on the field, it seems like you guys know that you guys can do something like this. Just how would you just assess kind of that feeling when you guys go out on defense each time?
It's really just trusting that the coaches have a great game plan in for us, and trusting that the guy next to you is going to do their job. When you trust that everybody on the field is going to do their part, makes your part really easy.
Yeah, you guys were obviously disrupting the line of scrimmage pretty handily today. Just how did that kind of feed into what you guys, obviously making them uncomfortable?
Like I said, just coaches put us in a good position this week. We knew we wanted to get after them up front, and of course, the front of the line sets the tone for the game. So I think we set a physical, dominant tone, and seemed like it took the back end took it on as well.
Absolutely. Obviously, anytime you guys play at home, obviously you guys kind of elevate a little bit in terms of the emotion. But
yes,
homecoming, obviously, to have a dominant performance like this again, just how does that kind of feed into your psyche?
Hopefully, it can give us momentum going into this bye week, and we can focus on us and do what we need to do to take care of us and give us momentum going into BG. But like I said, just coaches gave us a great game plan, and we just went out and trusted each other and executed.
This defensive unit was the most hyped thing about the team, arguably, coming into the season. How have you seen it grow from week 1 to now?
I think the biggest thing is we had a lot of new guys out there playing in terms of it was their first time really taking starter numbers of reps. So now that we're through week 4, there's no new players on the field. We've all kind of built a like I said, that level of trust has only increased from week 1 to now, and I expect it to keep increasing throughout the season.
Is there a biggest point of improvement for you guys?
Get better all around. Yep.
Anything else from Malachi?
Talking about the turnaround from last game to this game, I mean, just what was the emphasis of practice and just, what can you say about your team's ability to, have a loss like that, put that behind them, and just come out here and dominate today?
Well, exactly like you said, the emphasis this week was respond, and responding to good things and responding to bad things. Just you have the ability to control how you respond, so I think that's what we did today is we controlled how we responded to this game.
Yeah, I'll obviously just start with that. Obviously, hearing that, being a part of that company, just what's your initial reaction to hearing that news?
I think it's a good job. Just hard work paid off on my end, and thanking my coaches put me in position to make plays. So, just a good feeling.
Obviously, getting the first touch on offense and scoring. I mean, how does that kind of spark, the day for you and in the offense?
Like you said, just coming out with a big spark and getting the offense going early, getting the crowd going early, and just wanted to be a roller coaster effect after that. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the crowd. I mean, 3 times now you guys have played at home. 3 times you guys have been able to handle business and dominate. Just what's different about playing here in the Glass Bowl for you?
No one wants to lose at home, and homecoming. So just a normal home game. Don't want to lose at home. Want to come out and execute, start off fast, and win the game.
All season long, it seems like the game plan was to get the run going and that would open up everything else. But today it seemed like the pass was the emphasis right out the gate. How did the scheme lend itself to your talents and your ability to get into the end zone?
Just everyone doing their job, trusting the guy next to you, knowing that they'll be in their position or running the right route, and knowing that the quarterback know what you got to do. Just everybody being on the same page and being in position to make plays.
What do you think is the biggest leap that you've seen in your game from last year to this year?
My vocalness, speaking up when things needed to be done, or encouraging players, keep going, things like that. Just using my voice.
And how has that helped your personal on-field product this season?
I think mine would be the same. I'm going to always keep my juice, but knowing that the guys next to me hear me encouraging them, they feed off of my energy as well, so keeping that going.
First time this season, you guys obviously get to experience a bye week. Kind of what are you looking forward to the most about just having that extra week to prepare now?
Just focusing back on Toledo Rockets football, just getting back to the basics, whether that's run fits, blocking on the perimeter, route depth, whatever it may be, just focusing on us. We play BG in a couple weeks, so I think focusing on us, knowing what we do best, and then going into that game, that'll be big.
Have we seen this offense at its best?
No.